Hello everyone, and welcome to the review of the GoPro Light Mode. And this is an interesting product because a lot of people say that you do not need this or it's too expensive, while some others will say, wow, this is the best light that you can buy for that amount of money. Well, we are going to investigate just that. As you can see here, world's most versatile light. That's a big thing, but we need to check it out to see if it's true or not. And at least for the world's most important light source, it does come in a huge bag for such a tiny light. Alright, we get this diffuser. This is a very useful thing, and it's made out of a kind of silicone. Interesting. We get this thing here, small adapter, and USB cable for charging it up, and it uses a USB Type-C cable. Alright, and the light looks like that, has a button on top, a switch, and we get this over here which is spring-loaded, just like that, USB Type-C connector, and it's of course rechargeable. What is interesting about this, as you can see here, GoPro labeled, there is here Litra. Litra is a brand that makes various light sources for cameras, for mobile phones, for professional cameras, and so on, for studios. They have a really good background, and they make really good light sources, mostly based on LEDs. And what's interesting about this, you can also check the specifications on Litra's website besides GoPro, and some specifications are here also. And this one is the most important one, CRI 90+. This means that the light emitted by these tiny LEDs will make objects to reproduce their own color, so it will not influence the color of objects. For instance, if this cable is black, you will not see it gray when it's illuminated by these LEDs. Or if I have something of another color, like this yellow thing here, well, when it's lit by this one, it will be yellow, it will not be orange, it will not be green, it will not be blue. So CRI 90+, it's a very good thing on LED lights, and that makes the object as natural as possible. Alright, so let's start with the versatility of this light. So that means that we should be able to use it in a lot of situations. Well, with this tiny clamp that we get, this labeled one, we can do lots of stuff, awesome stuff. First, must say that this was released when the GoPro 8 was released, together with the media mode. So this will clip like that, or you can clip it on the side here, so you can use a microphone and a light together, and you can install them where it's more convenient for you. So they came up together. But then someone at GoPro thought, well, maybe we can put this on, and we can make this really useful, not only for a light source, for our GoPro camera. So if you put this adapter, of course, you can use a clip, a simple clip. And just like that, I have a head light source that I can use in other things besides filming, or I can use my head as a support for the camera and use two GoPros for filming or whatever. So that's one use. This is another cool usage for it. I can use the GoPro Shorty, and I have a light stand included with light, and I can lit up something that I really want to. And I can also use the diffuser here. So really nice idea, and I can adjust it in several ways, in several positions. It's a win-win situation. Or maybe I do not want to use a reversed hat. I can use the head strap from GoPro and put the light, and now I have a searchlight, a flashlight that has head support. And of course there is also the chesty holder, and I can use it on that. The same way I can use it on the head strap, so I can actually wear two of them, one on my head, one on my chest. And that's not all. I can switch it on a strobe mode and fix it on my bike. And not only a strobe mode, maybe it's nighttime and I just want a good light source to make things visible. Well, that is possible also. So, is it versatile? Yes, it is. You can use it with a lot of other stuff beside your GoPro camera, but you somehow need GoPro accessories for it to work with. And it does a good job. Of course, we are going to test to see if the job that it does is good. For instance, if it really helps me film with my GoPro better if I have light source. But there is another thing I want to test, is that if this is truly waterproof, as it should work like the GoPro does, up to 10 meters underwater. Sadly, you need to fix this on the media mode, and GoPro 8 with media mode, it's not waterproof. So that's kind of interesting. You can use your chest strap, you can use somehow a link and connect two devices on the same holder. It's possible. And of course this works underwater because that's how things are, and that's how it's mentioned to work. Works really nice. No bubbles coming out. And now let's test to see how this thing makes the GoPro image look. And now I'm filming with the GoPro 8. It's 4K and 60 frames per second, because on 60 frames per second you get higher shutter speed, so the camera struggles to get more light, and when you don't have good light, it shows it's easier to observe that there is more noise in the darker areas. So this is with no light. This is now with low light, and it's rather visible, but I'm very close to the subject, something like 30 centimeters just, so you can see a spot in the middle. But I'm not using the diffuser, so if I attach the diffuser, things do get a bit better, and there is less visible here on the center. Now I'm going to switch to medium mode, and things are getting better, and on full mode you can see details on the black parts, on the black areas, rather good. But there is that halo in the middle because I'm very close to the subject. And now here's another test. So this small aquarium has a poor quality light. It's an old fluorescent tube. So this is the GoPro 60 frames per second. You probably are going to see a flicker of the image because I'm filming in 60 frames per second, and the GoPro needs to film in 50 frames per second in 50 Hertz electricity zones, so you get that flicker, but I want 60 frames. So I turn on the light on the low level, and you can see some details on the wood root over there. And this is medium power, and now full power, and you can see that there are a lot more details here on the dark area. And remember that the difference, because this is a glass and water, you have a lot of refraction and refraction here, so you lose a lot of light, but nonetheless it has power to go through all of that and give me more details in a weird angle. And if I look straight through the glass, this is no light, this is low light, medium and high, and you can see that this really puts out a lot of light if you are close to the subject. And now I'm also using the diffuser. If I take this off, I get a lot more light. This should be more appropriate, so I'm in a total darkness room and I'm around 1 meter away from the subject. This is low level light, this is medium, and this is high intensity with the diffuser. If I take off the diffuser, I get a lot more light, and this is interesting as here it's total darkness and that is a combination of black and gray, so I do get a lot of details on it. So here is another kind of test. Now I have very good daylight, but the subject is in the shade. While I get light from outside, I get a very big contrast as sun shines over there and it's all white and gloomy, while this is shaded. And I turn on the light on the low level and there's not much difference. Medium level and on high level I start to get details here and on the leaves, and if I remove the diffuser it gets really good, and now I have lots of details on the leaves also. And now if I turn it off directly, you get the difference better, especially in this area and here where it's very dark. So I'm going to go full power, and there you go, lots of extra details now. Here is another example. I'm now filming against the light, so it's dark on this part and the light comes facing the lens. So I'm going to turn on the light on the first level and you can see a change in color here. And if I go medium, it's getting better, and on maximum I get the true color, which is metallized blue shiny, which is the real color here, and the metal shine here of the steel part. So we get the details back even against the light, and that's how you use this kind of light. It gets you the details, especially when you have not poor light but poor lighting conditions. Here is another example with no light, light on low, medium and high, and we do get this shiny part as this is plexiglass, but if you look inside you get full details and color, which is really nice. You can observe the dust that it has been gathered in my PC and on the grill here. So now with this light I can observe that I need to do cleaning. So, is it worth it? Yes, absolutely. It is a fine accessory, not only for your GoPro, but if you used to go out on a hike trip and have a GoPro, if you have an electric bicycle or normal bicycle or an electric scooter, and you have a GoPro, well, there's a combination to have a GoPro and another activity or hobby or device, then yes, this is really worth it, as you can use it on several things such as the bike light and camera light, and then it is really worth it. And there are some things that I like about this. It's very compact, it's very small, and it's very powerful for the size. I did have several other LED lights and they were horrific, as the light was either blue or too yellow. They were big, heavy, they wobbled when you try to fix them on something. None of that happens with this tiny guy, so it's small and powerful, and it's cheap if you use it in two places at the same time, at two uses. You have at least two uses for it. If you just want to buy it as a light for the GoPro, it may worth it. If you just want to buy it as a bike light, it's not worth it. But to use it on the GoPro and the bike, then it's perfect, and it's really worth the money for what it does. So I highly recommend it. Until my next video, see you and bye bye.